It's time for Recipe of the Day. These Mexican grilled chicken breasts are so extremely flavorful and juicy, and they have perfect grill marks too. And, I'll say that as much as I say you can use these like shredded up in other recipes or sliced, you totally can. They just look so good that you want them as like the main entree for your dinner, just whole, so you can show off those grill marks. So they start with a really simple marinade. If you've heard me talk about the Mexican chicken marinade before, that one has fresh ingredients pureed right into it. Onions, garlic, cilantro, all of that is like pureed right into it to juice the ingredients into the marinade. Delicious. The marinade I'm telling you about today has similar flavors, but it uses more like pantry ingredients. So you can just quickly whisk it all together and you're not like dirtying a blender or anything like that. So same idea in terms of flavor profile, just a little bit less intense. That other one is really a flavor bomb of a marinade. And then both of them, what they do have in common is that they both have salt in them. This one has a good amount of salt so that it not only is acting like a marinade from the acidity and flavors in there, but then the salt brines the chicken a little bit, making it more tender and juicy and bringing the flavor right inside. I will just say that because of the salt, because it's kind of a brine marinade hybrid, you don't want to marinate for as long as you normally would. It'll get too salty if you leave the chicken in there overnight. You're really going for like 90 minutes. If you want to do longer, you can just omit the salt from the marinade ingredients, marinate the chicken for that amount of time that you usually do, whatever you like, and then you're going to take the chicken out, pat it dry, and then salt it before you cook it. And then you're not risking that over brining saltiness being pulled into the chicken, okay? So you can start by measuring the marinade ingredients straight into a zip top bag or whatever bowl you're going to be marinating in. It's 1 cup of water, a tablespoon of kosher salt, 1 lime that's been zested and juiced, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of dried cilantro, a teaspoon of hot sauce, a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of dried oregano, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. Also add in a tablespoon of cooking oil. That can be olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you like to cook with. That is not being added here to prevent the chicken from sticking to the grill later. It's here because oil is a flavor conductor. Different flavors are dissolved in water versus oil versus alcohol for that matter. And so when you add oil, you are just giving a different way for flavors to interact with the food. So then if you're using the zip top bag, seal it up and give it a really good shake until that salt is really dissolved in there. If you're using a bowl, you just whisk that up, same thing till the salt is dissolved. And then you are adding 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And by 4 of them, I mean kind of small for these days standards, 6-ounce chicken breasts. If yours are bigger, I highly recommend that you cut them in half diagonally so they still kind of look like chicken breasts with a pointy end and a rounded end, but they are not as big. They're going to marinate in the correct amount of time and cook in a closer to the correct amount of time. Okay, you add those in there and seal it up, shake it all up. You really want to seal it to get as little air left in there as possible, so kind of squeeze on that, and then you refrigerate that for 90 minutes. It's not really necessary, but I usually go and flip it over halfway through just in case any of the chicken is kind of poking out of the liquid. I want it all submerged for at least half of the time. And like I said, it's 90 minutes, and you might remember that I have done extensive experimenting with brining chicken breasts and tested different amounts of time and what was best. And really, it's around an hour that is best, but an hour to 2 hours, you get more of the texture change and kind of salty flavor starting to get into the chicken. So the 90-minute point can be really perfect when you really want to get extra flavor into the chicken, which is what we're doing here. So while I normally say 45 minutes to an hour is a sweet spot, if you have lots of flavor ingredients that you're trying to permeate into the meat, then we're closer to an hour to 90 minutes. Like I said earlier, if you're going for longer than that, just omit the salt from the marinade and you'll salt the chicken before cooking it. Then towards the end of that 90 minutes, you're going to prepare your grill for direct cooking over high heat. You want that grill covered to be at at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. If your grill doesn't have a thermometer, you're going to get it good and hot, then open the lid and put your hands palm down about 5 inches above the grill grate, and you hold them there for like as long as you can before it's too hot to hold them there. And if it's between 2 to 4 seconds before you need to pull away, then you are right at around the right high temperature time. And I mean full seconds, like you're going 1 motorboat, 2 motorboat, 3 motorboat. And this temperature test is sometimes called the motorboat test for that reason, because you're counting full seconds, 2 to 4 of them. When the grill is good and hot, take the chicken out of the bag, discard the marinade, pat the chicken dry with some paper towel, and then coat it all over with another tablespoon of cooking oil. Then you're going to put the chicken onto the grill. I always say put it nicer side down. That's sort of more like rounded side, not the more torn looking side where they actually removed the bones from. You really want the nicer side down because your first side down is going to get the better grill marks. So you want that down first. That's when the grill's the hottest. Everything is prepped and ready. So rounded, nice side down. Chicken goes on for 5 minutes. Don't touch it. Then you're going to flip it over and cook on that second side just until it hits 160 degrees Fahrenheit. You can check that with an instant read thermometer. It's going to be between 4 to 7 minutes. Then take the chicken off of the grill. Let it rest for 5 minutes. It will rise up to the 165 degree Fahrenheit safe temperature. And then you serve. Like I said, it's going to look really nice with those grill marks. So you can do this as a main entree, the main chicken for your entree, or you can slice or shred it to use on salads, in tacos, shred it for nachos, enchiladas, anything like that. It is delicious. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is September 2nd of 2025. And I just want to urge you to bookmark Cook the Story and the Cookful in your browser, or go to them first when you're searching for recipes, because you know, the online recipe landscape is kind of crazy right now. AI recipes everywhere. You don't know what's been tested, what hasn't. And you know that I test everything very thoroughly. Like that chicken breast brine I was telling you about. I did so many side-by-side comparisons. I had different taste testers, and it's all being done in a regular home kitchen so that it is approximating your own life and not like some like special chef kitchen. So these are like home cook recipes that have been tested thoroughly, and you know, it's a real person testing them and tasting them. So you want those recipes for real from real people. Make sure you are going to cookthestory.com and thecookful.com. Bookmark those pages and search there, or you can search for my full name on Google, followed by whatever recipe you're hoping to find. So if you're looking for chicken breasts, you can search for Christine Pittman chicken breasts, and you will find things from both of my websites. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.